The time is just gone 8:35 a.m. as we continue with the broadcast this morning. Now, in a minute or two, we will be joined by Ismat Mahomed, facilitator and representative of the Umlazi Islamic Centre, and this is with regard to the mass conversion of the Corinthian Church. Now, many of you will recall that there was this. Social media fact messages that went viral about 100,000 followers of the Corinthian Church that accepted Islam, and also talking about the Archbishop at the Corinthian Church. Now, before we get to Ismat Muhammad, we want to play out a video just to put this discussion into context. So let's take a look at this video before we link up with Ismat Muhammad.
He's giving you shahada.
You accept Islam.
That you accept what you are wearing.
MashaAllah, one God.
What you are wearing, you've got to accept it. Lokho sikugqokile kumele sikumukele enhlizweni zethu. Lolu phawu, this sign, you've got to accept it in your heart today. Then you'll become a Christian. Then you become the child of God. Because inkinga asilumukelanga lolu phawu. This is a very big symbol.
You will repeat after me.
Sizophinda konke akushoyo ngane zikababa.
I will speak in Arabic
Uzokhuluma ngolimi lakwababa wenu babuhlaba ihlangana.
and then I will translate in English.
Uzophinde akubuyisele esingisini.
And you will translate it in Zulu too.
Mina ngisengizokudlulisela mina ngolimi lwesiZulu.
Everybody repeat after me. Ashhadu
Ashhadu
Allah
Allah
ilaha
ilaha
illallah
illallah
wa ashhadu
ashhadu
anna
Muhammadan
Rasulullah.
Rasulullah.
I bear witness
I bear witness
none worthy of worship
there's none worthy of worship
except Allah,
except Allah,
and Muhammad
and Muhammad
is his final messenger.
is the final messenger.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. NgesiZulu siyamukela uNkulunkulu ukuthi umholi waleli bandla. Akekho omunye uNkulunkulu esiyakumkhonza ngaphandle kaNkulunkulu kaAbraham noIsaka noJakobe. Akekho omunye singazakhela abanye uNkulunkulu ngalesigaba. Nokuthi lolu phawu lweslam njengaleli bandla namhlanje siyalumukela. Siyalumukela lolu phawu. Hallelujah. Cela izandla bakwethu.
Well, that video puts into context what we want to talk about this morning, and subsequently there was a meeting that was held on the 25th of July at the Umlazi Islamic Centre, and this is a meeting that was hosted with the Muslim community workers and representatives of Muslim organizations at the centre. And just to put this, understand what this meeting was also about and what actually transpired at the meeting, we are now joined by facilitator and representative of the Umlazi Islamic Centre, Brother Ismat Mahomed. Brother Ismat, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome and Jazakallah khairan so much for your time.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan. And also, I would like to thank the Umlazi Islamic Centre Committee for having the confidence in me to speak on their behalf.
Yes, now clearly, there have been a number of issues that have arisen, and as a result, this meeting has taken place, and we are talking about this mass conversion that had taken place, and also looking at some of the recent developments, the happenings as far as the church is concerned. Now, the minutes of the meeting obviously is very, very important, and to put into context what had actually happened, and it makes mention of the Archbishop of the Corinthian Church, Umlazi East section, who had embraced Islam with an enormous number of church followers. Now, obviously, this has been circulating on social media, and I think that is a good place to start, because what we saw in the video Obviously, let's just put that all into context, and then we can start taking a look at the meeting in itself, some of the resolutions and what was discussed in this meeting.
So the person that was giving the Shahada in Arabic and English is Brother Anwar Isu. And the person who was speaking in Zulu and was translated is the Archbishop, who is now called Brother Ibrahim. On that specific day, what happened is Brother Anwar Isu, it was in Ramadan, was in Jamaat. Now, also, I just want to clear up the issue. There are two different leaders of the Tabligh Jamaat here in Durban, and I think internationally. But I refer to them in respect of Overport, the centers, the Islamic centers. The one is the Hilal Masjid, and the other is a musalla in the corner of Randall's Road and Stanley Copley. So this specific Jamaat that Brother Anwar went with was from Randall's Road. They were at Jamaat. There was a discussion amongst them while they were in Jamaat about the different people, the different African traditional religious groups or Christian groups, and the mannerism in the way they dress. And then there was a discussion on the Corinthian Church. Now it is alleged that the grandfather of the founder was a Muslim, and apparently he was a herbalist or a hakim. And he was from Mauritania or somewhere. And he was living in South Africa, and he married a South African woman. This is Brother Ibrahim's grandfather, who is still the Archbishop of the Corinthian Church. However, Brother Anwar and them went to visit the church. When they went to visit the church, because they were interested, because the church, the symbols are also a moon and a star. They decided to go visit the church to see what this church is all about. When they got to the church, everybody hugged them, accepted them. Now, Brother Anwar took it, and the rest of the people with him, that, they are very kind people, they hospitable, and they invited them to be part of the church. They were very hospitable to them. Then the Archbishop came forward and told Brother Anwar, you know what, I had a dream, and my father said, when you come, we must accept Islam. And I had a dream you were coming. And Brother Anwar and the rest of his crew got very excited and they were ecstatic. And then the Archbishop started speaking about Islam to his people. And then at that situation, and also 3 hours later, he called the Brother Anwar. Brother Anwar and him left for a while and then came back. And then he told them to after giving the message of Islam, the Archbishop Ibrahim, giving the message of Islam to his congregation, they accepted Islam, he claims. Then they did the Shahada, as you have seen in the video, and allegedly a lot of people became Muslim. But also transpired from that. Now, this is one church in Umlazi, and what happened from there is there were arrangements made to go to various other churches of the Corinthian Church. And Brother Anwar and them and many others went with the Archbishop. Ibrahim has accepted Islam, that we have been told. So he took everybody to different churches. So now we need to put it into perspective of what exactly happened. The Archbishop himself had a dream. He gave dawah to his people. Brother Anwar and them, alhamdulillah, just entered the church. Coincidentally, then the brother said the Archbishop said he had a dream to accept Islam. That's what his father told him in the dream, and this continued. What is most important is the church, the Corinthian Church, is run by the Richmond family. Brother Ibrahim is a member of the Richmond family. Now, I'm a bit confused whether to call him the Archbishop or Brother Ibrahim, because he's still the Archbishop. So maybe in this interview, I would still refer him as the Archbishop. What also happened then is Brother Ibrahim, through other fellow Muslims, was invited by the Saudi government to go for Hajj. Also on social media, everything was done via social media, and it was alleged that 100,000 people accepted Islam, Corinthians. So we had to have a meeting yesterday, on Tuesday. And the reason being is the Corinthian Church did contact fellow Muslims and even the ulama body here in Durban to intervene on this matter. The person who led the discussion or the negotiations is Ibrahim's sister, who is the executor of the church. They were against the idea of what happened at the church. And the reason being is they did not, the entire family, the management of the church, did not give permission to the Archbishop to do this, to take Muslims to various of their churches and get people to accept Islam. They became very upset. It has created a perception that Muslims will go to churches and force people into accepting Islam, because those people who read the Shahada and were doing it, many of them have Muslims who are part of their family in Umlazi and around. And they have informed the fellow Muslims, they have informed the Muslim brothers and sisters from the family that we have not accepted Islam. We did not understand what is going on and what is the Shahada they are talking about. We are still Corinthian. We have not accepted Islam. The family, the Richim family, is saying this is wrong. If this is Islam, then there's something seriously wrong. Now we are saying, on the other hand, and one of the great reasons we have called this meeting is on this Friday, it is alleged that there is a social media message going around inviting Muslims to go back to this church and to convert again a whole lot of people to become Muslim Corinthians. And the problem here is now the Corinthians are saying this means war. They will defend their church and they will do anything to defend their church. And this is going to lead to violence. And what we are afraid of, this is not only going to lead to violence in that church, it's going to probably spread throughout Umlazi and throughout South Africa. Now we are in a very vulnerable situation politically, socially, morally, economically in this country. And we cannot afford violence and issues at the moment, this unity. We need to all stand united and build our country. Also, we have to make it very clear. And at that meeting, we call all the parties, including the Richmond family, including Brother Ibrahim, the Archbishop, including Brother Anwar Isuk, and all organizations. Apparently, there was a meeting after the mass conversion with the respected ulama and various representatives of organizations in Malagasy. I think it was at the house of Brother Ibrahim, the Archbishop. And there was a discussion taking place. But I also need to emphasize, Mufti Saeed from Harding and many others did inform Brother Anwar Isuk and his group that what you are doing is wrong, because all the members of the church were not happy on what you are doing. Now, from an Islamic perspective, we must respect all religions and we must respect the existence. Okay? We want everybody to respect us as Muslims. So we need to respect them. So we cannot allow people to come in our masjid from other religious groups and make their dawah and propagate. That's disrespectful. If we invited to give a talk in the church officially and everybody agrees, we can go. Here, only one person, the Archbishop. He is the only person that is invited Anwar and them. The rest of the congregation is not happy on this issue. Islamic is not correct to go to a church and propagate Islam. It is our duty as Muslims to give the message of Islam. That's why at Umlazi Islamic Centre we do it the proper way. We have a function at the masjid. We invite people, both Muslims and the community. When people come, we address them on Islam. If people want to accept Islam and they understand Islam, they accept Islam. In this case, this video, those people do not understand Islam. They do not. And what now created a huge uncertainty and a disunity, even for those Muslims whose family members are part of the Corinthian Church. They has created a huge tension, and this could lead to a war. And we cannot afford this. This is not Islam where we go to churches and we go and decide to take it over, and when everybody is not happy, we don't have the permission. Yes, if there's a church for sale and we go and offer it and we come to an agreement to buy it, we can change it to a masjid. But if the people do not want to accept Islam, they are confused, and you have not told them properly what is Islam and what is happening, we cannot coerce people into becoming Muslim. The other problem is social media. This has gone throughout the world and 100,000 people accepted Islam. 100,000 people have not accepted Islam. This was confirmed in the meeting of the Anwar Isub and his group. 100,000, a few people accepted Islam. In Umlazi as well, those that allegedly in that video accepted Islam haven't come to the masjid. And what we are telling Brother Ibrahim, we are trying to meet Brother Ibrahim because the resolution of the meeting is that there is a committee created primarily of the Umlazi Muslims who will meet Brother Ibrahim to tell him what he is doing is wrong, because on Friday, this Friday, he wants to have the other gathering and there is a threat of war. There's a threat that any Muslims will go there will face a huge threat to go to the church. So what we are saying is, Brother Ibrahim, we are trying to tell him and to the Richmond family, it is wrong what Brother Anwar Isupendem did and what the Archbishop did in respect of trying to convert and forcefully convert people to Islam. We are also saying to Brother Ibrahim, and the family is happy for Brother Ibrahim to become a Muslim, by the way. They give him their well wishes. They're happy because they have members of their family who are Muslim, and they respect them and they're living in harmony, in happiness. I mean, they are happy all together. So what is important for Brother Ibrahim is to resign as the Archbishop, okay, and to continue his life as a Muslim. Now, the Umlazi Muslims have even invited him to come and read Jummah at the masjid. He doesn't want to come. We also need to emphasize that you cannot have dual membership of religions. You cannot be a Corinthian and a Muslim. So what we've heard from Brother Anwar Isuk is that the Archbishop is the Archbishop of the Church, of the Corinthian Church, and they do their services in prayer. And then he goes to the back room and he performs Salah, and he's a Muslim. Now he's living two lives. You can have dual membership in respect of passports of two different countries with condition, but you can't have dual membership religiously, because Islam and Corinthian, we usually differ in respect of our beliefs. However, we respect the Corinthians and we respect other religions and we allow them to exist. And as Muslims, we have our own resources. We have our masjids, we have our Islamic centers, we can hire a hall, we can call people who would like to come without forcing them, tell them about Islam, and if they're interested, they can accept Islam. We're trying to meet but Brother Ibrahim doesn't want to meet us at the moment. But alhamdulillah, at least Brother Anwar and his group came yesterday. And then we formulated the resolution that we will meet the Richmond family. We will meet Brother Ibrahim first, then the Richmond family, to explain the misunderstanding of Islam, that you cannot go to a church and start forcing people to become Islam, and that brother should leave his position as an Archbishop, okay, and he should continue to practice Islam. The Corinthians do not have a problem with Muslims. They do not have a problem with people, even the Archbishop, accepting Islam. They have a problem with him using the resources of the church and confusing the people into accepting Islam. They have a problem that why are Muslims using the church to promote Islam? And also, why are they misguiding everybody that 100,000 people accepted Islam? The other thing is, Everybody is innocent, even those people who are forwarding. And I think even the media and the social media and everybody is confused because they were sending the message that 100,000 people accepted Islam. When the Archbishop went for Hajj, even on that issue, the family had an issue. When he went for Hajj, he did not inform them. They saw it to social media. However, seems to be a conflict in the Richmond family amongst them. We should not get involved in that. They need to resolve their own family issues. However, as Muslims, we shouldn't go to a church forcefully and make people Muslim. That is not the practice. Because remember, if we're going to start that, people are going to come to our masjid and say, right, we're coming to promote our religion to your masjid. Will we allow that, Brother Inayat? We cannot allow it. So we cannot expect them to allow us to do that. It is very, very important. We need to promote Al-Din al-Islam respectfully and using the resources of our fellow Muslims. And we have the Umlazi Islamic Centre, as I said, where we did dawah a few weeks ago. A brother, a sister accepted Islam. Nobody is stopping us from practicing our religion. So you need to be very clear on that. And they're happy with the Archbishop of Islam, but he needs to do that.
Well, Brother Ismat, you've obviously put the entire, in fact, you've answered basically all my questions in putting all of this into context. And really, there's a lot that we need to actually think about. But the key issue here at this point in time is now that these resolutions that were made at the meeting, the recommendations that were made, the whole issue surrounding respecting other religions, not propagating Islam in church. And we know the Quran makes it clear, La ikrah fid din, there is no compulsion in religion. And we need to make sure that that message goes across loud and clear. But also at the same time, as Muslims, we need to act responsibly when even we're making dawah, when we are reaching out to people. And I think that is a very, very huge problem in this entire matter as well. And it's obviously, it's open, and this was an issue that was taken up. But also the question of social media. As Muslims, we need to be responsible. I mean, I've seen all these posts on social media, 100,000 followers that had accepted Islam. And again, as a Muslim community, social media, using it responsibly, verifying the information, checking the information, whether it really happened. And this is where, people like yourselves, I mean, you've been at the cold face as the Umlazi Islamic Centre. You would have known better. 100,000 people accepting Islam in one go. You would have known. You would definitely have known. And this is checking the information. But again, let's wait and see. Let's see what happens now that the recommendations, the resolutions have been passed. Key in this entire issue is going to be Brother Ibrahim or the Archbishop and the Richmond family.
So what also is happening at the moment, at about 10 o'clock today, there will be another meeting, but this will be by those representatives who were at the meeting who are appointed to represent the Muslim community to have a meeting with Brother Ibrahim and the Richmond family. They're going to read, because Brother Ibrahim is resisting the meeting. He doesn't want to meet. You see, also he's got this confusion. I think whoever gave him dawah is confusion that Islam is about believing in one God. You can do anything. You can practice everything. You can practice other religion, whatever they believe, but you can believe in one God, you're a Muslim. So he's refusing to meet. And the other thing is humble request from Muslims. Please do not go to the church. Please. Please do not force people to become Muslim. It's wrong what you are doing. You are misrepresenting Islam. Very important. You are misrepresenting Islam. Okay, so they are going to have a meeting, because then they need to decide, and we did make a resolution that if Brother Ibrahim doesn't meet us, our respected brothers and sisters who have been appointed need to meet the Richmond family.
Okay, what we'll do, Brother Ismat, obviously we will follow developments. Unfortunately, time is of the essence, but when I think this meeting does take place, and after the meeting, possibly we can actually do a follow-up to see what the outcome of this meeting, because I'm sure that many people right across the entire country, and our listeners and viewers right here on Salam Media, are very, very keen, very interested in seeing what actually the outcome of this meeting is going to be, because central to this obviously has been the Richmond family as well. So inshallah, we will be talking, we will be linking up for further updates, inshallah, from time to time.
Very important. The Muslim community is not responsible for the actions of a few Muslims. The bishop was invited to perform Hajj. The Saudi authorities who invited him were not aware of the situation. Nobody else was aware. The people on social media who were forwarding the 100,000 except were not aware. So we also urge Brother Anwar Isuk. We urge his family. We urge his associates and everybody around him to encourage him to apologize to the family that about what they did. We also ask Brother Ibrahim to come back, continue to practice as a Muslim, but to resign as an archbishop. And inshallah, we will keep Salam Media and the Muslim community updated. We have a WhatsApp group that has been created where all those interested are included in that WhatsApp group, and there is discussions taking place. And as I said, the meeting, if anybody is interested, they can contact us and we can include them. But however, we want peace. We want to promote the true deen of Al-Islam, the beautiful religion that we believe is truth and the best and the most perfect way of life. Jazakallah khairan. And once again, to Salam Media, from the Umlazi Muslim community. I don't live in Umlazi, but they have been kind enough to ask me to facilitate the meeting, and they have been kind enough to ask me to represent them on this interview. Jazakallah khairan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the right path. May Allah forgive us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us peace in this country, and may Allah grant us justice, but most important, that we must live with peace with our neighbors as well. Inshallah ta'ala.
Ameen, Ameen. Jazakallah khairan. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan so much for your time. Brother Ismat Mahomed, facilitator and representative of the Umlazi Islamic Centre, was us this morning, putting this entire issue into perspective, particularly with regard to this conversion of 100,000, or the alleged conversion of 100,000. And there's just so much that he had unpacked with us this morning in a meeting that had taken place. It's a story we will follow up. It's something that is not going to go away. The key issue here is Brother Anwar Isap. We're looking at Brother Ibrahim, or the Archbishop, and the Richmond family. And once this meeting takes place, and we will definitely provide our listeners, our viewers, with further information and feedback coming through out of these meetings. The key issue here is about peaceful coexistence. And again, reinforcing the point that when we're doing dawah, even when we're spreading the message of Islam, let us do it responsibly. At the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who grants hidayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides those whom He pleases. And again, reinforcing the point, no compulsion in religion. We cannot force people to come into the fold of Islam. And when we are doing it, again, we need to send out the correct signal, the correct message. And more importantly, we need to do it where we know that we are not going to be creating problems. We're not going to be creating controversies. We're not going to be creating a situation where we could possibly look at a situation where people become antagonistic towards Islam and Muslims. The time is just gone past 9. We're heading for the news. We know we're running late with Etiquini Secure as well. We'll do them after the news break, inshallah.